It's a mini. It's a mini.
Oubliette minisodes.
Hello and welcome to Movie Oubliette and our ongoing minisode coverage of TIFF. I'm here with Joe.
Hello again.
And this time we're talking about two films that are only loosely connected by the fact that I'm obsessed with George Mackay.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Yes. So two films featuring George Mackay. The first one, And Sons, which has an irritating ampersand in the title which makes it impossible to search for.
Yes, I can't help but wonder if this is just tied to the source material. So this is based on a quote-unquote critically acclaimed novel by David Gilbert, and the screenplay is co-written by Sarah Polley as well as Argentine director Pablo Trapero. And yeah, George Mackay is in this, but gosh, if you blinked at the wrong time, you might miss him, Conrad.
Yes, it's criminal. He is totally underused. He is one of two sons summoned by Bill Nighy's aged, reclusive author, Andrew Dyer, because he has something very important to tell them about his youthful son, Andy Jr., played by Noah Jupe. His eldest son is Johnny Flynn, who's Richard, and his middle son, Jamie, George Mackay, who wanders around with a camera, filming things, and has very little to say for himself.
Yes, yeah. All the sons are meant to be creative in different ways, but they live in the shadow of their very famous father, who, you know, you're meant to assume was an icon within the publishing world. So we get to see book covers and we get to hear him feted every time these sons meet anybody. They're like, oh my God, that is your father. So it's clearly very difficult because Andrew Dyer was also a terrible father. So all three of the sons are trying to recover from the divorce that they had to experience. So the matriarch of the family is played by Imelda Staunton. And I'm going to say she is the absolute best part of this film.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Johnny Flynn has something to do in terms of trying to come to terms with living in the shadow of such a famous father.
Yes.
I mean, all of them are dealing with that in one way or another.
Yep.
The youngest, Noah Jupe, is going to a school, for example, which has a library that's named after his father.
Yeah.
So he just has a shadow that's impossible to get out from under.
Yeah.
Johnny Flynn seems to be the one that's most traumatized by it all. He seems to be trying to carve out a niche for himself all the way through the movie. He seems to be trying to get a film going. He's a screenplay writer.
Yeah, but of course, his screenplay is an adaptation of his father's famous novel. So even when you try to carve out your own creative space, you find it impossible. And of course, then they all get summoned to the family house, which is falling into disrepair because their father has also become a recluse. And then we learn that he is keeping a secret. And Conrad, this is a tricky thing because ultimately the film is really about this secret. And yet I couldn't place how far into the film it is when we discover what he has been hiding from the rest of the family.
Yeah, so if you don't want spoilers about this movie, you can stop at this point. All I will say is that the family believes that Andy Jr. is the result of an affair that broke up the marriage, but in fact, he has a more unusual origin.
Yeah.
And that is the crux of the movie. And then it's the fallout and the dealing with all of that.
Yeah. Maybe before we get into spoilers, Conrad, would you recommend this one?
No.
Okay. That was very immediate. I unfortunately would not either. I was actually shocked to discover that Sarah Polley had a hand in crafting this script because I think it is extremely inelegant. Like, there's nothing new or fresh or novel about this. Bill Nighy is kind of insufferable in this movie. He's meant to be awful, but also there's nothing particularly interesting about him. You know, he drinks too much, he rants, he's a terrible dad. You're like, cool. Any other checkboxes we need to tick? Because this is very formulaic.
Yes, it is. And it completely lacks narrative drive. It's a 2-hour movie that seems entirely disinterested in creating scenes of drama.
Yeah.
In one way, you could say that that's perhaps more naturalistic because it isn't sort of explosive arguments all of the time. You do get them.
You got them.
But you get a lot of meandering in between.
Yes.
George Mackay is wasted. Imelda Staunton has one mic drop scene
Yeah.
where she is incredible, where she faces up to why exactly she has put up with this man for so long and how she feels about the reality that she has just been made aware of. That in itself is possibly worth the price of admission, but maybe just that could be an Oscar clip or something.
Honestly, yes. I was going to suggest, like, if she enters into awards contention for this, I would not be surprised, but also it does feel like it's a one scene wonder. And the scene is wondrous.
Yes.
She is fantastic, but I don't think it merits seeing the entire film.
No, it doesn't. And if you're wanting to see it for George Mackay,
oh God, no.
Don't bother.
No. Noah Jupe is pretty good, but also he cannot save this film.
No, he can't. No. And if you're watching the movie wondering, where have I seen Noah Jupe before? He's the kid from A Quiet Place.
Yes, he is. And I just saw Hamnet, the new Chloe Zhao, and he appears in that as well. So I was having a Jupe-a-thon, apparently. Okay, let's stop dancing around it. Conrad, this is a cloning movie.
Again, we're cloning people again, as we did in another film, which I won't reveal which one it is in case you don't want that one spoiled for you. Yeah. I mean, I can hardly say I fell out of my seat when I found out, because Noah Jupe is doing a Bill Nighy impression throughout the movie.
Yes.
He is living in his father's childhood bedroom.
He's
wearing his clothes.
Yeah.
He constantly complains about the fact he has nothing of his own. And I mean, it has to be said, Noah's impersonation of not just Bill Nighy generally, but of his performance as this character
I thought it was good.
It's very, very good. They pair up quite nicely. But yes, he is a clone.
Yeah.
He was approached by some shadowy Swedish organization that has selected him because of his intellectual stature and importance to society or something, although why this would mean that you would want a biologically identical copy of you that will have none of those traits, I do not know, because you're not a product of your genes in terms of your creativity, I don't think.
I don't know exactly what the film is trying to say, or maybe, again, this is partially based on its source material, but yeah, there is an almost ridiculous, I think it got laughs in our theater, line where Andrew Dyer, the Bill Nighy character, says, you know, in 20 years, we're going to have a mini renaissance where all of these famous creative people are going to, like, their clones will essentially begin making new works that will revitalize things. And you just think, that is so fucking silly. I kind of want to commend the film for going there, but also I can't because I'm really bored.
Yeah, exactly. He casts off, there's even talk of Shakespeare. Fuck off. No,
Oh my God, no.
It's utterly ludicrous, this idea that just creating a biologically identical copy of you would result in this exactly the same human being. We know that we're a combination of nature and nurture and experience.
And here's the thing. I think if the film had have actually chosen to interrogate those notions, or actually even featured more scenes of Andy Sr. and Andy Jr., it would have been so much more compelling. Because the best scene, in part because Imelda Staunton is great, but I would argue the reason that her scene works as well as it does is because there's a hint that she is attracted to the younger version of her former husband. So when she comes to the house and she actually sees Andy Jr., whom she has not seen, I think, ever, or maybe not for many, many, many years, she recognizes something of her husband in this young boy. And I think I told you after we got out of the theater, it reminded me of the sexually complicated nature of something like the Nicole Kidman movie Birth, where you think, oh, is this going to happen? And I think the movie would have been better if we had have actually explored those kinds of things. And instead it's so content to just say, oh, well, Bill Nighy's real fucked up. And you think, cool, tortured genius movie. Not as interesting a direction to go.
No, it's not interested in exploring the cloning conceit.
No.
It's not interested in exploring the impact that that has on the brothers or on
Not really.
the wife.
No.
It's not really interested in exploring Noah Jupe's experience of that, Andy Jr.
No, he never even finds out.
He doesn't, no, which is just criminal. Now, the most amazing scene And I've written in my notes, Imelda Staunton is amazing. Yeah, when she says, all of my senses were loving him again. And I thought, that's the interesting avenue. Let's go down that avenue, but we don't. We're not interested in exploring any of these things. We just get Johnny Flynn screaming about the fact that no child should have to survive his father. And I think, doesn't every boy have to survive their father?
Most often, yes.
Yeah. So I didn't have any sympathy for him, really. I just thought he was a privileged dick.
And then meanwhile, George Mackay is just sort of filming everything like he's Wes Bentley in American Beauty. Like, oh, I'll just stand outside the window and you half expect a fucking plastic bag to fly by. I was like, oh, wow, George Mackay, I hope that you got paid a handsome figure for this, because they literally could have cut that middle son role out entirely and the movie would be exactly the same.
But maybe shorter.
Which
would have been a boon. Yeah, it's not interested in exploring any of the things that I was interested in. And I think my favorite line from the movie, which I've written down and underlined twice, came from Imelda Staunton as Bill Nighy is explaining the whole cloning thing. And she says, the more you talk, the less I believe it. I thought, you're right, Imelda. It's just getting worse.
It's the thesis of the film, but unintentionally so.
The holidays are coming, and I've got a Boost Mobile gift just for you. Aw, for me, Anna? Yes, Anna, you deserve a gift. The Boost Mobile Unlimited plan is just $10 a month for the first 2 months, then $25 a month forever, with unlimited data, talk, and text. It's a gift. Thanks, Anna. Anytime, Anna.
The holidays are here, and the best gift is for you. Offer valid at boostmobile.com. After your first 2 months, you'll pay $25 a month unless you go online or call to cancel. Requires autopay.
Conrad, this is not the only George Mackay film you saw. Please tell me the other one was better.
Well, it stood a very good chance of being better because it's by a highly renowned filmmaker, Mark Jenkins, who is from Cornwall. I don't know if you're familiar with the Cornwall area of the UK.
I know it's a place. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
So it's on the south coast.
Okay.
It's typically thought of as the place where your grandparents go to retire because it's sunny and warm and full of very picturesque villages. My grandparents were there.
Lovely.
So it's sort of like Florida, but without the alligators and crazy people. So yeah, it's a lovely place, but obviously it has suffered from economic depression.
Yes.
Okay. So his very first film, Bait, which was filmed on a clockwork 16mm camera with all of its sound produced in post.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Was a breakthrough film that examined the strife in a Cornish fishing village. His second film, Enys Men, sort of veered into horror territory.
Oh, I do know that one. Yeah, I heard good things about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard very good things about it.
Okay.
And this one is sort of situated halfway between the two, interestingly. It's called Rose of Nevada.
Right.
And it stars George Mackay, gorgeous George, as Nick, and Callum Turner as Liam. Callum, you may know from the series Masters of the Air.
Yeah.
And they are two men who are in financial dire straits. The first thing that we see Nick do is go to a food bank to collect an evening meal for his wife and child. Their roof is leaking. Things are not great. And he accepts a job, both he and Liam, they've never met, accept a job as fishermen on this boat, the Rose of Nevada, which John Carpenter's The Fog style has just returned to port after its previous crew went missing several decades ago.
Nothing ominous about that.
No, sounds like an ideal employment opportunity.
But maybe they'll make some fast money and they can get out of their current situation.
Exactly. So that's what they're hoping. So that's the setup. That's the premise. It's all shot on 16mm.
Okay.
The sound is all done in post. So it's stylistically very much a Mark Jenkins film.
Right.
And it's very atmospheric. It explains very little.
Okay.
It's quite eerie, the experiences that the central character has. I mean, George Mackay is put to full use in this movie, unlike the previous one. He is the central character, and he does have a very, very strange experience, which I do not want to spoil. But again, underlying it all is this examination of where we are economically right now and the effect that this is having on people. And it has an intergenerational and personal trauma aspect to it as well. So, yeah, it seems to be a common theme this year.
Okay. And would you recommend this title? Because it sounds intriguing.
It is intriguing. It depends on your appetite for Mark Jenkins' work. If you've loved his previous work, then by all means go and do this, because it's like the completion of a trilogy. It's very much in the same vein, I'm sure.
Okay.
If you want to see something that challenges you, that is formally and stylistically fascinating and engrossing, then by all means do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a straightforward horror movie,
Probably not.
no.
Okay. So I shouldn't go in expecting answers, it sounds like?
No,
Okay.
you will not get them. No, you will just get a very spooky 16mm experience
All right.
for 2 hours. And in this case, it did not feel overlong. I was spellbound throughout. And that's not just because of George Mackay.
All right. And in terms of nudity, how much do we see of George Mackay? Do we see any body shots?
We do not.
No.
No. It's much more respectable than that.
Fair.
Yeah.
I thought I would just ask.
But yeah, he's not exploited in any way.
Wow. How disappointing.
Yeah,
But the
very
movie
much
does
so.
sound intriguing.
It is intriguing, yes, but I won't spoil it. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in The Fog remade as an art movie, then check this out.
And not like it's terrible remake with Tom Welling. Yes.
Oh, God. I'd forgotten about that.
As you should.
Oubliette minisodes.
The holidays are coming, and I've got a Boost Mobile gift just for you. Aw, for me, Anna? Yes, Anna, you deserve a gift. The Boost Mobile Unlimited plan is just $10 a month for the first 2 months, then $25 a month forever, with unlimited data, talk, and text. It's a gift. Thanks, Anna. Anytime, Anna.
The holidays are here, and the best gift is for you. Offer valid at boostmobile.com. After your first 2 months, you'll pay $25 a month unless you go online or call to cancel. Requires autopay.
It's the Black Friday sale at Mattress Warehouse, which means our biggest sale of the year. Save up to $1,000 warehouse-wide on top brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Beautyrest, Sealy, and more. And with our exclusive bed match technology, you'll find the perfect fit, backed by our 100% comfort guarantee. With zero interest financing, free next-day delivery, and our 1-year lowest price guarantee, Mattress Warehouse has you covered. Don't miss our biggest sale of the year.